Hi there, welcome to the channel. I'm Wendy, founder of Matterflow Advisors, where we help law firms streamline, automate, and scale their operations using one of the best tools out there, Lawmatics. Now, here's the thing most people don't know. Before I started helping law firms implement Lawmatics, I actually worked inside the company. Yep, I spent years on the team, learning every corner of the platform, helping build out the exact automations that law firms needed in what we had called at the time the Builder Program. And so in this video, I'm going to pull back the curtains and share why I started Matterflow Advisors rather than staying at Lawmatics. I'm going to talk about how my time at Lawmatics shaped our mission here, and then what makes us different when it comes to building CRM systems that actually work for attorneys. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to answer those questions I just brought up, and we'll just go right in order here. Why I started Matterflow Advisors. So I had been working for Lawmatics for just shy of 2 years and had been working one-on-one with clients that had sought support to do their build outs of Lawmatics, anything that really went beyond the scope of the implementation team. And after doing 20 or so full builds or partial builds for companies while working at Lawmatics, I recognized that I was going to need a lot of different tool sets to be exceptional at the work I was doing. I recognized there was a lot of work that I was able to do, but wasn't quite able to convey to the client. I didn't feel like I was able to teach them the way that I wanted to. And I have an education background, having taught high school students chemistry and biology. And frankly, like teaching an attorney how to use Lawmatics feels like a breeze compared to teaching a high school student how to learn chemistry. So once I realized that I had all these challenges, and of course the team at Lawmatics was happy to support me in that, but it became a question of, do I want to be hindered by the lack of tools that are available in the timeframes that I want, or do I really just want to be unencumbered by what's available to me in the marketplace and to be able to serve customers setting up their Lawmatics account in whatever way was best and easiest for me? So it was a lot of that. But additionally, I'm a mom and I have a nearly 16-year-old and an 11-year-old. And I just made a decision that I'd rather be more available to them doing the exact same work than I was doing the work while I was employed at Lawmatics. And so just the natural entrepreneur in me said, you've got to go break free from this and buy freedom back into your life by serving the same customers that you're already serving, doing what you already know how to do well. And so much of that decision was just a personal decision to step out of the role of an employee and into the role of CEO or founder of a company and learn how to grow personally and professionally, in addition to the work that I was doing with law firms setting up their Lawmatics accounts. So a lot of factors played into my decision, but ultimately leaving allowed me to serve clients better. And so now I get to serve the same client base that I was serving at Lawmatics, only I get to do it better and with total freedom to make decisions for myself and what's in the best interest of me, my company, my employees, and of course, the law firms that we work with. So, how my time at Lawmatics shaped our mission. So, I worked in the support department when I first joined Lawmatics. And so, one of the things that I learned super quick was that while firms have a strong desire to build out their own Lawmatics accounts, they really do want to excel with this software, this tool that can automate away tasks. But learning how to do that is vastly different than learning how to use Lawmatics itself. And so when I started Matterflow Advisors, I realized like my mission has to be to build excellent systems and then teach and or train people to use those systems. And so everything we do at Matterflow Advisors now is shaped by those learnings. What are the typical challenges firms face? What's the difference between building and using Lawmatics? And so now that I own and run Matterflow Advisors, I can meet firms where they're at. I can do an onboarding into Matterflow Advisors that allows me to learn about where they're at, just determine whether or not there's an expert on staff, and then if there isn't, we can figure out who should be the expert and work to train them before the engagement with Matterflow is done. And so that really informs our mission, which is to help people build the system, but also train them how to use the system. And it's just really important to us that people understand the training side of things, because nothing in software, in my opinion, very little software can be optimized or maximized if you're not able to train people how to use it, particularly in the realm of CRMs like Lawmatics. It just requires a lot of effort to make sure firms understand how to use that platform. And then finally, what makes us different when it comes to building CRM systems that actually work for attorneys? One of the things that we do is we prioritize understanding all of the tasks that have to get done from the time a potential client reaches out to the law firm through the time that they're hired. And in some cases, depending on practice area, uh, firms will use Lawmatics all the way through to the end of a case. And so we want to make sure that we really understand what are all the tasks that are happening just manually at the firm if the system wasn't able to do it. And then what we can do is we can make smart automations that handle as many of those tasks as possible, batched appropriately so that they're getting done at the same time, uh, and that your staff can keep track of what it is that's happening using our user training pipeline. Because once you have staff that knows how to use the system, they're empowered to understand their role and how to use Lawmatics more appropriately. Additionally, we want to consider how do we build a system so that it can be maintained by the law firm. And so we like to document everything that we've done. We can hand that off to the law firm that we've done work for. We can give them links to every automation and what they do. And then we can also generate standard operating procedures based on how the system was built, so that going forward, firms can train new staff, keep everybody on the same page. You can have managers working against those SOPs to ensure, or using the SOPs to measure whether or not their team members are doing their job appropriately. And so being able to bring this level of system design and documentation is really powerful for law firms, so that everybody in the firm knows what's expected. Everybody knows how the system is designed. And now the attorney and everybody on staff can manage the system by taking the appropriate action in the CRM. And we're experts at Lawmatics. That's one area that differentiates us from other implementation firms. But we really care about designing good systems that work well for attorneys and staff. And we're really keen on training you how to use them and generating the SOPs so that you know what to do when we aren't there uh, to answer all of your questions. Now, I really appreciate you sticking around. I hope this gave you guys a better idea of how we got here and why I'm so passionate about helping law firms simplify their systems. If you're a firm owner or operations manager who's tired of chasing leads, drowning in admin, or just frankly wondering how Lawmatics can work for you, I'd love to chat. You can book a free consult using the link below, or just drop a comment or a DM and we'll reach out to you. And hey, if this video was helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with somebody who's ready to upgrade their firm's backend. See you in the next video.